Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, reveal that Rachel Black will have an EJ Dimera memory that alarms Marlena Evans, while Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Horton deal with some fire consequences. First, let's talk about Ari and Holly, since they'll be punished for the careless candle incident that could have burned their dorm down. Holly mostly blames herself, but Ari has assured her that they're in this together. Of course, Sophia Choi is the one who truly set that ordeal in motion, but her medical drama is taking center stage now. Sarah Horton Kyriakis will talk to Amy Choi about Sophia's condition and admit Marlena backed up the psychological break assessment. Now, Sophia needs inpatient care at Bayview, so Day's spoilers say Sarah will give Amy updates on all the difficult news. As for Brady Black and Tate Black on Thursday's Duel episode, they'll have a bonding session and discuss all the Sophia drama. Tate and Brady went through a lot thanks to Sophia, but they'll hope she gets the help she needs, even if they're still angry about everything that went down. Other Days spoilers say Rachel's memory flash will bring some worries for Marlena. You can bet that memory will involve EJ and the night of the shooting, so Marlena may fear Rachel could face total recall. If that happens at some point, Rachel will remember she's the one who pulled the trigger on her own uncle. Kristen DiMera simply took the fall for shooting EJ in an effort to spare Rachel more pain. Although Rachel won't recall the whole story yet, Marlena will remain on edge and fret over the possibility of Rachel's world spinning out. Across town, Days spoilers say Maggie Kyriakis will put Xander Kyriakis through a grilling session. Whether Maggie overhears Xander's next conversation with Philippe Kyriakis or trips Xander up somehow, she's about to realize Xander's lying to Sarah. Xander really was the one who beat Philip up and nearly caused his grim fate. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Maggie will force Xander's confession to Sarah later this week, so stay tuned to watch their marriage blow up again. Thomas comes downstairs to find Jeremy working on a dating profile. He's looking for love, and hopefully he'll treat whomever he finds a lot better than Stephanie. Thomas watches over as Jeremy fills in all the fields. Then his new teacher tries asking the kid about all the stuff he's going through right now. Thomas blurts it all, so Jeremy tells him to talk about it with his dad, but Thomas just wants his second cousin once removed. To get Chad to sign up for a dating app and find someone new, Mark's finally out of prison and catching up with Kat in the square, at least until they and Chad all lock eyes. Mark freezes and can't muster up an apology before Chad walks off. Kat tells him to brush it off, then fills her brother in on her and Chad coming together, then crashing and burning. She starts crying as she talks about how much she misses Chad, then pulls away to talk about what he'll do for a job. Kat thinks they can talk EJ into hiring Mark, even without his medical license. Leo spots EJ at the pub and presses him for a tour of the free clinic, after annoying him for a bit first. Probably not the best approach. EJ, shockingly, stonewalls him, and after Leo leaves, Chad joins his brother at the table. They catch up on Theo, but EJ's confused about why Tony flew their nephew across the world to take over instead of asking someone like, Johnny. Next, Chad fills EJ in on the Thomas/Rachel Kat drama. EJ tells Chad that Kat is heartbroken over their breaking up, and Chad calls him out on circling his assistant to pick up the pieces. EJ scoffs, then drives the point home that he's not interested in Kat. Famous last words. Chad then heads out and runs into Kat again, reading Wuthering Heights in the park. He apologizes for walking off on seeing Mark, and she tells him her brother was kicking himself for not doing the apologizing. She asks about Thomas, and Chad admits his attempts to make things right aren't working out. She tries reassuring him, but he just shrugs it off, and they part awkwardly. Mark knocks on EJ's door as EJ's reading Wuthering Heights and introduces himself. But EJ knows who he is and isn't happy he's there. Mark offers an apology, claims he never would have hurt Chad, and offers up his resume. Julie drops into the Titan to go over Alex and Stephanie's idea for a book launch at the book club. And on that note, Stephanie's dropping her anonymity. Julie's the first they tell. After playing all coy and cutesy about it, Julie's gobsmacked. But she's also thrilled, if confused about why Stephanie's coming out. Steph says Leo forced her hand, which is when he waltzes in, much to Julie's great annoyance. Surprisingly, Leo stopped by to promise he won't run a story revealing her identity. He's a good person now. Potentially. But he does think she should come out of the nom de plume closet. Stephanie agrees, and she wants him to be a part of it, so he demands the exclusive and to cover the reopening of the book club. Well, that's certainly an award-winning story. Julie reluctantly agrees, then Alex walks her out to leave Leo to press Stephanie about EJ giving him the runaround. She just puts on her PR face and tells him they gave their statement, period. When Alex gets back, he and Stephanie head out into the square to celebrate her impending reveal. But Stephanie's still nervous, thinking she'll be in the public eye and mobbed by fans and can't live a private life anymore. Okay, calm down, Steph. You wrote 2 books. But as she's worrying, Jeremy walks by and all 3 lock eyes. Never one to take no for an answer, Leo breaks into the clinic under construction to snoop around. The walls patched back up and the keypad locked. As he's trying it, Rita walks in, hard hat and all, and threatens to call security if he doesn't leave. Now. He claims he lost an earbud while rescuing Gwen and was just looking for it, but Rita's not dumb, so Leo hightails it out of there. EJ could use Mark's research skills if he signs a non-disclosure, doesn't ask questions, and does what he's told. He then reassures Mark that this is private research he's funding and he won't get back to Statesville. Mark doesn't have much choice, so they shake on it. Alex accuses Jeremy of pulling the ultimate bitch move and telling Leo about Anastasia. He's about to start swinging when Stephanie pulls her bow back and tells Jeremy to stay away. Which, to be fair, he has been. Which is why he looks so confused. Rita barges into EJ's office, where he hands her Mark's resume. He wants his new employee vetted to make sure Mark does everything he's told. And she tells him Leo was snooping. EJ declares Leo needs to be taken care of. Ever since we learned Days of Our Lives EJ and Gwen had teamed up for some mysterious project, we've been dying to know what it is. Is it nefarious, illegal, world-changing? Or are they just looking to rake in some cash? There haven't been many clues, other than the fact that there's a secret lab being built into the hospital's new free clinic. But now, we may have gotten another clue with Mark Green's return. Kat's brother, played by Jonah Robinson, is back, having earned his parole after nearly shooting Chad on Clyde's orders. We haven't seen him in almost a year, as he began his sentence around the holidays of 2024. As you'd expect, being a felon cost him his medical license, which pretty much puts an end to his career as a doctor. But that makes him all the more valuable to EJ, because one of the first things Mark did on returning to Salem was ask EJ for a job after a little prompting from Kat. And after initially scoffing, EJ realized his assistant's brother is just who he needs. Acting like the generous boss and offering Kat's brother a fresh chance to start over gives him the perfect cover to bring someone in that EJ can use. Because Mark was in jail for attempted murder, which means he'll probably struggle finding a job anywhere, not just in the medical field. EJ clearly knows this. That means he's got his new employee over a barrel and can, as he told Rita, make Mark jump whenever EJ snaps his fingers. That makes Mark the perfect researcher for a secret project, whatever it may be. Now, hopefully as Mark learns what he has to do, we will as well. Of course, what neither EJ nor Mark knows is that Kat's got her eye on everything at this hospital, as she works with Rafe to figure out what's really going on. That's going to make pulling one over on her a lot tougher. And if she sees Mark getting too close to EJ, that could raise enough red flags to start grilling her brother. Whether Mark cooperates or not, all may hang on what's actually happening. Because when Mark fretted over the idea of doing something legally or morally gray and getting sent back to prison, EJ sidestepped that worry, instead of answering it. All EJ told the disgraced doctor was that this was a private research project, and if Mark ends up stuck working on something that could get him in trouble, we could see him ratting EJ out in a heartbeat to save himself. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates reveal Abe Carver worries about Theo Carver turning into his grandfather. James lets us in on Stefano DiMera's origins and how Theo fits into the DiMera family. As Days of Our Lives approaches its 60th anniversary celebration in November, it's no surprise that the show and its cast are reminiscing about the last 60 years of drama. One of the best aspects of Duel is the number of longtime veterans who remain with the show after decades filled with love, adventure, and danger. By the end of October, James Reynolds will have portrayed Abe for an impressive 44 years. He recently spoke with Days of Our Lives' official Instagram account to look back on the soap opera's golden age in the 80s and early 90s. This was a time when stars couldn't even enjoy a meal out without being swarmed by fans, and it also marked the introduction of one of the most infamous villains ever, Stefano Di Mera. It's not surprising that Stefano is on Reynolds' mind right now, as on-screen, Abe is facing the real chance of Theo being influenced by the Di Mera family. Theo is experiencing power and likely greed, which are the very traits that made Stefano so dangerous. As Reynolds mentioned in the Instagram video, our show, probably unintentionally, became part of that 80s greed is good mentality. And that was when Stefano was introduced. You know, the charming evil figure, but Stefano existed for power and money, similar to what was happening in the 80s and globally at that time. So we reflected that, but we also created the super couples. Stefano, in other terms, was undeniably shaped by the era he lived in, a time when films like Michael Douglas's Wall Street exposed the reality of greed. Naturally, even Stefano couldn't escape mortality, which perhaps highlights the notion that money can't purchase everything, particularly when it comes to eternal life. Ever since the season preview, we've been treading carefully, eager to discover if Stefano will indeed return in some form. And of course, what Tony Di Mera's intentions are regarding his late father. We hope to see this unfold sooner rather than in later. If Stefano returns in any shape or form, we definitely believe Abe won't just sit by idly. Given how furious he is about Theo taking on the position of CEO at Di Mera Enterprises, we can only speculate on what measures Abe might resort to. He'll do anything to ensure that the villain doesn't harm his son, whether physically or emotionally. While Stefano may thrive on greed, Abe has consistently proven to be made of much stronger and more principled material. There's absolutely no chance he will allow Theo to be lured by the same sinister urges that turned his grandfather into such a fiend. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday for Wednesday, October 22nd, indicate some bombshells up ahead. Someone is caught in the act, while another is taught some valuable lessons, and a super couple plans ahead. Find out what's set to unravel on Wednesday's show below. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd, reveal that Leo Stark will be caught in the act by E.J. Di Mera's loyal assistant, Rita. Will Leo be snooping around the Di Mera mansion or E.J.'s office? He might even be in the hospital, so fans will need to tune in to find out. It's clear that Leo will be on the hunt for more information for a story on The Spectator, but is this also because of E.J.'s response after Leo mentioned the true identity of his shooter? Speaking of E.J., he and Chad Di Mera will have a chat about the Di Mera family's struggles. A lot is going on with the family, from Kristen Di Mera's imprisonment to Tony Di Mera getting Di Mera Enterprises back. However, Chad's area of focus lately is Thomas Di Mera. Read this: Days of Our Lives November sweeps preview. Twisted lab mayhem, scary medical crisis, and erupting danger. After all, the boy wants to go to Boston with his grandparents and escape having to live in the same town as Cat Green. Not only that, but Thomas also feels betrayed by Chad because of his father's lies. Meanwhile, Thomas will connect with Jeremy Horton. Can the teacher offer some advice to the young boy who has so much on his plate? Finally, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday note that Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis will plan ahead. The two are gearing up for Stephanie to come out as the author of One Stormy Night, as she reveals that she is, in fact, Anastasia Sands. Still, how will her fans and the rest of Salem react to the news? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Wednesday's show? Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd. Zoom in on Rachel's innocent act, and Xander acts innocent in front of Maggie. Rachel's alibi ever since EJ's shooting has been that the poor, darling innocent doesn't remember pulling the trigger, nearly killed her uncle, letting her cousin go on trial for the crime, and her mother confessed and was sent to prison for it. Ah, isn't she an adorable scamp? Marlena has been trying to pry into Rachel's memories in a gentle, grandmotherly fashion, but it may be time to ramp it up a notch when Marlena starts to suspect Rachel may not be completely honest with her. Sophia is catatonic. Amy wants answers, and someone to blame. Sarah tries to explain what is going on medically without admitting that one of the people to blame is Amy. Meanwhile, Tate laments to Brady that Sophia's trauma is making life harder for him. He wants to just outright hate her, but now he has to be all sensitive and pretend he cares about her well-being. Holly and Ari are all mad at Sophia. She spiked a drunk Holly's drink, which is what made her pass out, knock over a candle, and start a fire in her dorm room. They are scheduled to report to the University Conduct Committee to defend themselves. If Sophia insists on being traumatized, she won't be around to explain that none of this is the girl's fault. Xander is keeping secrets too, ones he can't blame on Sophia. He is lying to Sarah and has been for months. They're in marriage counseling, talking about trust. This isn't going to help, especially when Maggie suspects her son-in-law isn't being honest, and she confronts him in a way Sarah and Marlena can't. Al Calderon is on prime time, and he's taking his daytime medical experience with him. The actor, who portrays paramedic Javi Hernandez on Days of Our Lives, began airing in his new role as Nurse Scotty Silva on Brilliant Minds on Monday, October 20th. The episode aired at 10 p.m. on NBC. Inspired by world-famous author and neurologist Oliver Sacks, the show's second season continues to follow Dr. Wolf and his medical team at Bronx General as they delve into medical mysteries of the mind. Calderon joins that team in the show's Once Upon a Time in America episode, which centers on two patients who arrive at the hospital in critical condition. It's up to Dr. Wolf and Dr. Nichols to do whatever it takes to keep them alive, with, of course, some help from their devoted nursing staff. Calderon plays Scotty Silva, one of those nurses, a character described as someone who runs the hospital and looks good doing it. With charisma to spare, Scotty is widely regarded as the mayor of Bronx General. He's warm, funny, and has an outgoing charm that may or may not be the reason why he knows everything about everyone at work. News of Calderon joining the Brilliant Minds cast broke last July, after he booked the primetime series. The actor quickly took to social media to confirm his pending departure from Days. "My time on Days of Our Lives has been truly life-changing," shared Calderon. "I'm endlessly grateful to the cast, crew, and creatives who made me feel seen, valued, and part of a legacy of family. I'll carry the love, lessons, and memories with me on every journey I go on. While I'm just a small grain of sand, I'm just happy I got to pass through the hourglass. As my mom used to tell me, it's not goodbye, just see you later. I love you forever." Calderon made his first appearance on Days in October 2024, when his character surprisingly showed up on the doorstep of his cousins, Rafe and Gabby, and promptly moved into their family home. Before long, he was embarking on a romance with Leo. It was a big night in Pasadena when Days of Our Lives star Paul Telfer walked away with his very first Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor. His win came off the back of one of Xander's most powerful storylines yet, the arrival of his complicated mother, Fiona, in Salem. What fans didn't know at the time was that behind Xander's raw, gut-wrenching performance was something far more personal for the actor himself. Telfer spoke to Daytime Confidential shortly after the win, still riding the emotional wave of the night. The actor shared that he always knew if the show gave him a storyline involving Xander's mother, it would push him to do some of his best work, because it mirrored a chapter of his real life. "My mom passed away over 20 years ago, just as I was starting my career," he explained. "She never got to see any of the major roles he's played since those early days, and when this storyline came up, he knew it was fertile ground to go deeper than ever before." He admitted there was some crossover between the fiction on screen and the pain he still carries. Telfer also explained that the storyline became a kind of release. In his long acting career, he admitted that he had never truly tapped into that real-world grief. This Day's storyline was the first time he allowed himself to go there emotionally. It was heavy, yes, but also cathartic, a way to honor both the character's pain and his own. A key part of pulling off that level of vulnerability came from his on-screen partner and close friend, Lindsay Godfrey. Telfer praised her for creating the space he needed to access those emotions. "She made sure that was going to happen," he said, adding that she asked him the right questions and quietly helped him channel his real memories into Xander's pain. The Scottish actor admitted that he often moves too fast on set, absorbing the pace of soap production, but this time was different. Godfrey helped him slow down and really feel it. That collaboration turned what could have been just another emotional beat into something unforgettable. And when his name was called on Emmy night, Godfrey's scream from the audience made it real. This was a win that didn't just celebrate a storyline, it honored a personal journey decades in the making. After Gabby and Philip hit the sheets on Days of Our Lives, fans are left with one very curious question regarding their bedroom scenes. The October 21st episode of Days showed us the aftermath of Gabby and Philip's inevitable hookup. Breathless and eyes bouncing between the ceiling and each other, the two agreed a good time was had by all. Aside from the messy bedsheets and sexy smiles, fans were left curious about one thing. "Explain this to me like I'm 5. What are we looking at Houch Fabi through? A mirror? A mail slot?" A viewer asked on X, along with a snap from the scene, sparking shared curiosity among fans. Referring to the strange shape of the scene, it's hard to tell whether this was a stylistic choice or meant to imply something more. One viewer guessed Gabby may be up to no good, wondering, was Gabby recording it, or are we just looking through a bookcase? While many were left baffled by the scene, plenty of viewers also shared their love for Fabi. "I actually really like Philip and Gabby," one Zara shipper said, also revealing, "I actually want Gabby with Philip so bad. It's not even an agenda, like I love these two actors in those two parts, and they had chemistry on that one episode. I have been hoping for #Fabi ever since." Another agreed, writing, "Okay, I liked those Gabby and Philip after sex scenes. I like that she's playing him because it's fun when a relationship starts one way, but maybe will end up another. She'll end up falling for him. I liked their chemistry though." Another fan broke down exactly why these two make the perfect pair. "I adore Cherie and JP, and I think they would be such a good fit. He's nuts, and she is a little calmer version of Gabby, but still crazy. I hope they are going there." Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Sophia might have been the one to spike Holly's drink when she had decided to just have soda for the rest of the night. But that doesn't mean that Holly and Ari weren't voluntarily drinking earlier in the night. While underage drinking happens on college campuses, it is certainly frowned upon, especially when it results in a fire. Holly and Ari finally have to face Salem University's disciplinary board and defend their actions that fateful night. Will they be thrown out of college or just put on probation? Elsewhere, Tate finally absorbs the fact that he is not a father after all. He spent 9 months preparing for a birth, and months after that wondering where his baby ended up, just to learn Sophia had been lying to him the whole time, or at least bending the truth. Brady also thought he was a grandfather, but thanks to his detective skills, he got to the bottom of Sophia's tall tales. Now, they both have to figure out a way to go forward with the truth out there, and Sophia in some pretty bad shape. Sarah is tasked with telling Amy Choi just how bad Sophia's situation is. After consulting with Marlena, Sarah has to break the news to Amy that Sophia has had a complete mental break and is now in a catatonic state. Amy can't even believe that any of this has happened. How did she miss all the signs that Sophia was falling apart right before her eyes? She thought she knew her daughter, but it turns out she never really knew anything about her at all. Sophia gave birth in her bedroom, and her mother didn't even know. Sarah also has to tell Amy that Marlena recommends a transfer to Bayview for inpatient psychiatric care. Is there something else Sophia is hiding that has caused her to spiral like this? Or did all the pressure really just get to her? Welcome to Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. EJ DiMera has not had a very good year. In fact, every single scheme he has launched has blown up in his face. It started with the Rafe Arnold fiasco, before moving on to his kidnapping and hiding Rachel Blake. EJ then got himself shot in the chest and claimed to be a changed man. But alas, he is not. He has now ruined his relationship with Belle and is once again estranged from Johnny. Now, he needs to keep Leo Stark away from his latest venture, a secret lab disguised as a free health clinic. Who wants to bet EJ is going to come up with some harebrained plan to stop Leo during Stephanie's big reveal book launch? With Leo smack dab in the middle of both of these stories, we can see EJ trying to trap Leo, but ruining the book launch instead. Someone is bound to get hurt. EJ is bound to feel guilty, but no way will he do anything that will give away his game. By the time this big book reveal is over, EJ will likely have made new enemies while also landing someone in the hospital. That's because EJ never learns, and 2025 isn't over. EJ has to do something spectacularly dumb as the cherry on top of his no-good, terrible, bad year. Maybe 2026 can be the year he changes, but we doubt it. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives gives Sophia Choi broke down when she was surrounded and confronted by all her haters, and now she appears to be in a catatonic state. And I got to ask, is Amy Choi's daughter really in a mental health spiral? Or is she faking her catatonia as a way to escape the barrage of questioning coming from all directions and the consequences? After Sophia was missing for not long, half a day maybe? Brady Black and Steve Johnson found the scared teen hiding in a vacant room above the Brady pub. While they were searching, Amy was outside slapping Johnny DiMera and trying to blame everybody else for Sophia's bad deeds. But once Steve and Brady hauled her downstairs, Sophia felt understandably overwhelmed with everybody facing her down and demanding answers all at once. Let's be real, I think Days fans knew it wasn't going to be easy or cut and dried to get the truth out of Sophia. But she finally came clean and told part of the story. She told her mother Amy, as everybody listened, that she gave birth all alone in her bedroom, was terrified, and then she took her son to the firehouse because she didn't want to be a mom. Sophia laid into her own mother for trying to control her life and her body and taking away all of her choices. She also said that Tate Black was pushing her to do what he wanted. Sophia even threw something at Johnny, enraged at him for backing out of the adoption and making her life so much harder and more complicated. But then Brady and Steve, and Holly Jonas, and Tate and Johnny, and Chanel Dupree all pounced. Everybody started machine gunning her with questions, and Sophia freaked out. She said she couldn't take it. She started hitting herself in the head, and then she just collapsed in a heap. Brady made a grab for her, got her laid down on the floor. And thankfully, medical help was right there because Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark had joined the pub crew looking for answers. Thankfully, Javi jumped into action. He went into EMT mode, assessed the situation, and got Sophia taken over to Salem University Hospital to get some help. Of course, Javi and Leo are concerned about what's going to happen to their foster son, Tesoro, now that everything is up in the air with Sophia. We know that Johnny and Chanel were hoping that Sophia would tell the social worker the truth so that they could adopt her son. But with Sophia catatonic, she can't admit that she wrote that false letter saying horrible things about Johnny getting frisky with Holly. Sophia certainly can't fess up and say that she sent those naughty texts to Johnny from Holly's phone either. So these recent crimes are going unconfirmed and messing up the adoption. This week on Days, Sarah Horton gave an update to Amy about her daughter Sophia. We saw Sarah telling Amy that Sophia has had some sort of nervous episode. Sarah said that Sophia has shut down and is showing signs of selective mutism. That means she is so stressed out she can't even talk right now. But Sarah is going to get Dr. Marlena Evans to come do a psych evaluation on Sophia to see if it is really a psychotic break or if it's something else, because Sarah was also concerned about the possibility of some postpartum issues, which I had mentioned in a couple of videos before. We also have to consider that Amy's daughter could be faking the whole thing to prevent the consequences of her actions from catching up to her. Sophia is very intelligent and has plotted and schemed to do sneaky things before. Right now, she has painted herself into a corner. She's the victim of her own bad choices, but also of some tough circumstances. I mean, her mom Amy is controlling, and that pushed Sophia to extremes. The choices that Tate made and that Johnny made, all of that kept pushing her in these directions. But again, she made her own choices. But you know, she's barely 18. Her mom, Amy, shut it down when Sophia wanted to terminate the pregnancy early on. Plus, Amy's religious piety was the main reason that Sophia didn't tell her mom that she had slept with other guys besides Tate. Let's be real, Sophia wasn't a virgin when she took Tate's virginity. And then we know she also got in bed with Aaron Green, so there are at least 3 guys she's been with. He did admit to Tate and Holly he slept with Sophia. But Aaron also said, when he found out she was pregnant, he asked if he might be the dad, and said Sophia was very sure that he was not. And then Aaron had to leave town to be with his mom, Katharina Meliunas, up in Canada. So Aaron just kind of put it out of his mind after Sophia denied that he could be the dad. It seems very likely now that Aaron probably is Tesoro's daddy. But like his sister, Kat Green told him, Aaron needs to get that DNA confirmation just so they know. I expect we'll soon find out the results of another test on little Tesoro. Because Aaron might have rights. He might have some say in where his baby ends up. There have been also, by the way, some articles that I found pretty disgusting from some icky channels that do nothing but lie. And some tabloids that do nothing but lie, saying Sophia was molested by her dad, or her brother, or stepdad. I've never even heard about a stepdad. That's how you know it's completely made up. Or had been assaulted by Aaron. But there are no signs this is true. You guys don't believe that stuff. If it drops your jaw and it's that shocking, you're being lied to. What we do have is Sophia at this point where she has snapped. She lost it when she was confronted. I tend to think that it is what we've seen. Amy being overly controlling and restrictive, and Sophia acted out as a result. She accidentally got pregnant when the condoms didn't work. So, if Sophia truly is catatonic and is having a nervous breakdown, I expect Dr. Marlena Evans to recommend Sophia get a little time out in Bayview, get some therapy. And that means it could be some time before Sophia can come clean about her antics on Days of Our Lives. Now we also have to admit that when faced with Tate and the others demanding answers, Sophia might have decided faking a fit was better than facing consequences. So, she could have just done a little theatrical performance. But at the same time, I would expect that Marlena and Sarah would realize it if Sophia had been faking it. I also wonder if Amy comes to see Sophia either at University Hospital or at Bayview. Because if Sophia is faking it, she might actually open up and talk to Amy and drop the confused and mute act while Amy is in the room. So, we'll find out soon if Sophia really is in a catatonic state or if she is pulling one last con. On October 17th, the stars of daytime television gathered in Pasadena, California for the 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards, and let's just say the fashion did not disappoint. The red carpet was packed with stunning looks, and the men definitely brought their A-game. From sharp 3-piece suits to bold modern twists, the guys came suited, booted, and ready to turn heads, and we've got the photos to prove it. So without further ado, here are our top 3 best-dressed male soap stars from this year's unforgettable event. Dominic Zamprogna, aka Dante Falconeri on General Hospital, absolutely stunned on the red carpet at the 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards. And it wasn't your typical tux and tie moment. Zamprogna turned heads in a slim-fitting, double-breasted suit in a rich dark brown or charcoal shade. The jacket featured broad lapels, giving his look a modern meets classic silhouette that stood out without screaming for attention. Instead of a button-up shirt or tie, Dominic opted for a simple white t-shirt, which added a cool, laid-back contrast to the sharp tailoring of the suit. But what really tied it all together? His chunky gold chain sat perfectly over his t-shirt collar, bold, clean, and totally on trend. And then came the unexpected twist. The footwear. Zamprogna swapped out dress shoes for a pair of Nike Air Max 1 style sneakers, complete with black, white, and vibrant gold, yellow accents that perfectly matched his chain. The mix made for one of the most stylish and confident looks of the night. The whole vibe was effortlessly cool, sophisticated, but with a little edge. That's why Dominic Zamprogna lands at number 3 on our list of best-dressed male soap stars at this year's Daytime Emmys. Rory Gibson, who plays Michael Corinthos on General Hospital, came to serve. And serve he did. With a mix of elegance and edge, Rory stepped onto the red carpet in a deep olive green suit that immediately set him apart. The suit had a slightly oversized, relaxed fit, giving it a modern, fashion-forward feel. The jacket featured strong shoulders and a subtle sheen, adding just the right amount of polish. Underneath, he kept things effortlessly cool with a black shirt, striking the perfect balance between casual and sultry. To complete the look, Rory added a black belt with a gold buckle, a smart detail that tied in seamlessly with his gold chain necklace. Every piece worked together for a look that was bold without being loud, and stylish without trying too hard. It was a clean and confident look, and that's exactly why Rory Gibson earns the number 2 spot on our list of best-dressed male soap stars at the 2025 Daytime Emmys. Nathan Owens, who plays Holden Novak on The Young and the Restless, takes the crown as our number 1 best-dressed male at this year's Daytime Emmy Awards. Owens turned heads in a standout burgundy tuxedo jacket featuring a rich black satin shawl collar. The fit was tailored to perfection, keeping the silhouette modern, clean, and absolutely red carpet-worthy. He kept the look grounded with a halfway buttoned black dress shirt, topped off with his signature confident smile and strong red carpet presence. Nathan Owens delivered a look that was dapper, distinctive, and effortlessly cool, a masterclass in modern formal wear done right. See the other standout looks below, and let us know in the comments, who would have made your top 3 best-dressed male soap stars at the 2025 Daytime Emmys? Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, reveal that Rachel has a spark of memory that concerns Marlena Evans. Meanwhile, Brady and Tate commiserate, Sarah issues the hard truth, and more. Read on for Soap Opera News' full breakdown of what's coming up. Rachel has had selective memory when it comes to the night EJ was shot, and because of that, Kristen ended up taking the fall. Once Kristen realized her own daughter was the one who pulled the trigger, she did what any mother would. She protected her child. No doubt, Rachel struggled with her mom being in prison. She's even blamed herself for it, but never once has she admitted, or maybe even realized, that she's the one who actually committed the crime. Now, though, she has a spark of memory that leaves Marlena concerned. Could she finally be starting to piece together what really happened that night? Will the memory fully return? Or is she still a ways off from remembering the truth? If she does recall it, it's going to change everything. Meanwhile, Sarah doesn't sugarcoat things when she talks to Amy about Sophia. The truth is, everything got way too heavy for Sophia. She was under so much pressure and emotional weight that she ended up completely shutting down and suffering a full-on psychological break. The question now is, can she come back from this? Is recovery even possible for her? Or is Sophia headed to Bayview, like so many before her? At this point, it's up in the air. Speaking of Sophia, Brady and Tate take some time to process the whole mess together. Tate's been through it. After months of thinking he was the father of Sophia's baby, the truth hit him like a truck. Yes, the truth and technically set him free. But emotionally, he's probably still reeling. At least he's got Brady to talk to, because sometimes, even a messy father-son heart-to-heart is better than holding it all in. Day's spoilers for October 23rd also reveal that Ari and Holly are forced to face the consequences of the dorm fire. Let's be real. Holly could have lost her life. The whole place could have gone up in flames. It was serious. Thankfully, the worst didn't happen. But that doesn't mean there aren't consequences. Actions like that don't just get swept under the rug, especially when the fallout could have been heartbreaking. And over in the Kyriakis camp, Maggie starts questioning Xander. Xander's been lying about what happened with Philip for a while now. Even though Sarah was sure it was him, he denied it, and Philip backed him up. But Maggie's no fool. Could she be on to Xander now? Could the truth come out right when Xander and Sarah are finally in a good place? Soap timing is never on your side, and this could shake things up big time. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Rachel will remember? Sound off in the comments, and don't miss more Duel spoilers coming soon. Day spoilers for Oct 23. Reveal that Maggie questions Xander. Rachel has a spark of memory, and more.